The story begins with a girl named Mallory, who is making a painting. Mallory is pregnant, and her child is about to be born a few days later. Then her sister Jessica comes and tells Mallory that you should give news on TV. Some strange news is being shown in the news. When Mallory watches the news, she learns that a disease has spread in Russia in which a person loses control of his mind. And this disease forces the infected person to take his own life. The reporter points out that until now, no one knows completely that it is a disease or a virus. Just seeing something suddenly, people lose control of themselves and ruthlessly take their own lives. It is said in the news that this disease has spread to millions of people, and now this disease has spread from Russia to other countries. But Mallory ignores this news and goes to the hospital for her pregnancy checkup with Jessica. There, the doctor gives her the good news that the baby is absolutely fine and she is going to be a mother soon. Hearing this, Mallory is happy and starts returning home. But while leaving the hospital, Mallory notices a girl who is hitting her head violently with the front mirror. Seeing this, Mallory panics and quickly goes and gets in the car with Jessica. Mallory tells Jessica to leave quickly. I think that dangerous virus of Russia has reached here too. There was a stir among the people on every street, and people were killing themselves. Jessica quickly starts the car and drives the car towards the house quickly. But now the situation was getting worse. There are a lot of accidents on the road. Seeing this, Mallory is very scared. And then while driving, Jessica sees something that changes the color of her eyes. Now Jessica loses control of herself and increases the speed of the car and starts causing herself to have an accident with the vehicles coming from the front. Mallory stops him from doing this, but Jessica doesn't, as if someone has controlled his mind, and then the car collides with another car, and their accident happens. Lucky in this accident, both of them survive, and both get out of the car. But before Mallory can understand anything, she sees her sister Jessica come in front of a truck and kill herself. Mallory is terrified to see such a horrific death of Jessica in front of her eyes. But the situation was such that he doesn't even get time to go to his sister's dead body. She sees that there is a stampede among the people all around, and Mallory joins them and starts running forward. But no one pushed him from behind. Then a woman comes to help her, but before she can pick up Mallory, she sees something in front of her, and that woman, like Jessica, gets into a burning car and takes her own life. Meanwhile, a man named Tom arrives. There are already some people present in this house, and these people are also very scared to see all this suddenly. Everyone inside the house asks each other what is happening, but no one knows anything. So take this. It is said in the news that there is something outside that people go crazy when they see it and come down on killing themselves. The reporter explains that the virus has spread all over the world. Therefore, anyone who is infected with this virus, and don't make the mistake of leaving the house at all. These people quickly close all the windows in the house and at the same time cover the window panes with paper so that the monster outside cannot see them inside. In a similar way. But no one yet understands what is going on. All these people are sitting in trouble at home. That's when there is a knock on the door from the outside. A girl who cries and requests them. Please open the door. Tom goes to open the door for the girl. But Douglas refuses to open it because he fears that the girl might be infected. But here, Mallory points the gun at Douglas and tells Tom to open the door for that girl. Tom opens the door for her, and that girl comes in. The girl's name is Olympia, and Olympia was also pregnant. When Olympia is asked how she got here by blindfolding, then Olympia explains that she had run out of food. So one by one, she knocked on the door of each house and reached here. Hearing this, Douglas says that we are all in a bad condition of hunger because these people have also been stuck in this house for the last 60 days. That's why these people think about how to bring food from outside. However, there is a supermarket just a short distance from the house, but it was a big challenge to reach there without being seen. Then the owner of this house says that there are cameras outside the house. If we find out the location of those monsters through the camera, then we can reach the supermarket by hiding from those monsters. And the owner of the house says, I don't think a person can be infected by even seeing this monster on screen. But everyone else refuses to do it. Then the owner of the house says that if we don't take this step, we will all die of hunger. Listen to this and take the rest. Everyone ties it with a rope with a share, so that even if it gets infected, it cannot kill itself. Because whoever sees that monster will come down to kill itself. But they leave and go to another room. It starts looking at the closed screen. After a while, we see a gust of wind on the screen, and we see that the expressions of her face change. As soon as he sees it, the color of his eyes changes. After some time, loud screaming sounds start coming from that room. Hearing this, the rest of the people also come running to him. But before they arrive, the owner of the house kills himself by slamming his head on the table in front. Seeing all this, they get very scared. And they understand one thing, that whether you see this monster on the screen or in front of your eyes, it will kill you. After that, these people break the monitor screen so that even by mistake, these people do not fall on that monster. In this way, another day passed, and now he was in a bad state of hunger. That's why these people make another plan to go to the supermarket. The comm says that we will reach the market through the car using GPS. After which, these people cover the glass of the car with paint, so that these people can neither see the outside, nor can anyone see them inside from outside. After which, 5 people can use GPS. Slowly, without seeing the road ahead, we move forward with the help of GPS. Here we see that the whole city has become deserted. After going some distance ahead, the car starts to vibrate rapidly. The car's sensors show that the car is surrounded by those monsters from all sides. But Tom does not give up and drives the car forward. And somehow, these people reach the store, where these people get out of the car blindfolded and reach inside the store, coming in and closing the door of the kid. And then these people take the bandages off their eyes. The store had all the food, drink, and necessities, which they are all very happy to see. And each one as much as possible. He collects that much ration. Here we see Mallory and Tom talking to each other. Tom was a good man, and Tom even saved Mallory's life. From their words, we know that they have started liking each other. After this, both of them also start looking for the things they need for themselves. Mallory finds 3 birds in a cage, which she keeps with her. And that's when someone knocks on the store door. But these people don't open the door for that man out of fear. Then the man cries and pleads that please open the door. Now these people also feel sorry for that man. And they were also afraid that this man might be infected. So these people stand ready at the door for that man in advance, so that if they have the slightest suspicion that the man is infected, they will kill him. This is what opens the door for him. The man begins to force his way in, and says that these monsters are very beautiful. You should all see it. Hearing this, these people understand that this man is also infected. Now their pa. So Charlie pushes the man out by pushing him hard to save everyone, and goes out with him himself. Kills Charlie badly, and Charlie gave his life to save the lives of his comrades. Here Mallory notes that the birds start making noise when those monsters are close, and now these birds became a big support for them. After that, the remaining 4 people return with rations, and they were all very sad about Charlie's death. Now it is night, and we see that everyone has gone to their respective rooms. And that's when someone knocks on the door outside. When Olympia finds out that there is someone outside the door, she brings the man inside the house without thinking. But that's when Mallory sees him and threatens to shoot him with dirt. Here the rest of the house also came out of the rooms. And seeing an unknown man, these people get scared and start yelling at Olympia for why you brought this guy in. Olympia says, I've been out alone. I know how hard it is to be out alone. So I felt sorry for this man and brought him in. And here this guy, whose name is Gary, says, please don't kick me out of the house. He says that some psychos had entered my house who forcibly opened the eyes of my friends and showed them the devil, on seeing which all my friends committed suicide. But I somehow managed to escape and escaped here. Here we find out that whoever sees that devil shows the person something that he is very afraid of. That is, this devil shows that person the greatest sorrow or loss of his life. This grief is so deep that he cannot bear it, and all of a sudden, the person goes into extreme depression and kills himself. Here, Gary also tells some other things. He says that those psychos were not blindfolded, but they were happy to see that devil. Hearing these things, we know that the devil is not able to kill the person who is much more miserable than before in his life. It is already broken from within, so the person who is already living his life in depression does not have much effect on this trick of the devil. Rather, Satan enslaves him so that he can prey on other people while still living as a human. Now, whether Gary is also a puppet of that devil or a common human being like him, we will find out later. Here, everyone allows Gary to stay in the house, but Douglas does not trust Gary at all, and he threatens to get him out with an angry gun. But then Charla comes from behind and hits Douglas on the head with something and knocks him unconscious. and together they lock Douglas in another room, and Gary thanks everyone. The next day, both Mallory and Olympia suddenly start laboring together. Tom and Shirla help them both upstairs. And his actions also start to get a little strange. He takes out a lot of pictures of the devil and puts it on the table, and by looking at his eyes, we know that Gary is also under the control of the devil. Meanwhile, Mallory and Olympia are visiting their children. Olympia has a daughter, and Mallory a son. But the Punchy in the cage below begins to make noise, which Gary tightens up and picks up the cage and locks it in the fridge, and takes off the papers on the window. Now Douglas understands by seeing his actions that he is also a puppet of Satan, who does not die on seeing Satan, but kills others at the behest of Satan. Douglas yells that I told you to get this guy out of the house. Tom comes downstairs when he hears Douglas' voice. But then Gary comes from behind and hits Tom on the head, knocking him unconscious. Gary then moves towards Douglas to get rid of him as well. But that's when he hears the voices of children in his ears. So he leaves Douglas and goes upstairs to Olympia and Mallory's room, where he sees all the windows on it. And as soon as Olympia looks out, she is possessed by the devil. Now Mallory understands that Olympia will kill herself in some way. So she snatches her daughter from Olympia, and only then does Olympia jump out of the window. After that, Gary grabs Sharla and forcibly opens her eyes, and she also gets infected and finishes herself. Now Gary moves towards Mallory, but he has hidden the two children with him with a sheet. So far. But he starts provoking her to snatch the sheet and look outside. But then he reaches there with a gun and tries to shoot him with his eyes closed. But Gary knows that Douglas can't see it. So he takes advantage of the opportunity to run and drop Douglas with him from the top floor to the ground floor. That he kills a grouse with Caesar, saying that you will not be able to see the beauty of that devil. Meanwhile, Tom comes to his senses and somehow picks up a short gun and finishes Gary by killing him. Tom then goes upstairs and calms Mallory and the kids. Now only Tom, Mallory, and two children were alive. After this, the scene after the year is shown where Mallory and Tom are now in a relationship and the children have also grown up. But the danger is not over yet. People were still roaming outside under the control of Satan, and they used to catch and kill normal humans. These people have been living a quiet life like this for the last 5 years. Mallory gave the children E. Here you must have also come to know that the boy is Mallory's own son. But this girl is not Mallory's daughter, but this girl is the daughter of Olympia, who was handed over to Mallory by Olympia before she died. One day he came on the radio, in which a man named Rick tells us where we are. This place is completely safe. We have a colony here. This colony has all the facilities for food and drink and need. The man says that if you want to come here, come with the flow of the river. When the flow of the river is the fastest, we will find our colony in the middle of the nearby forest. There are a lot of birds out there that you can find us by listening to their voices. And yes, it will take you 2 days to come here with the flow of the river. Tom wanted to trust the man and go there. But Mallory refuses to go there. She says, it may also happen that the person who wants to get us out of here and kill us is infected. At night, Tom explains to Mallory that we have to go there if we want to survive. How long will we be here like this blind jinn? The next day, when these people go out to collect the goods, some psychos arrive to attack them. Tom explains to Mallory and the kids that this is the time to get out of here. I confuse those people in conversation. You guys sneak out of here by the back road, and to get through the river to the place mentioned on the radio. But Mallory didn't want to leave Tom alone like this. Then Tom says that we have to give our life to one of us to stay alive. Tom then kicks Mallory and the kids out of the back door and comes in front of the psychos with a short gun, blindfolded. But Tom tries to get them involved in things so that Mallory can get out of here with the kids. But that's when they see Mallory leaving. Now, before they go after Mallory to catch him, Tom opens fire and kills 2 people. During this time, he himself is injured, and now it was becoming difficult for him to finish the rest without looking. Therefore, he also kills 2 other people who were there. Now there is only 1 Psycho Man left, and when Tom goes to kill the last remaining Psycho Man, the devil gets there too. And let that devil subdue Tom. But before he is completely subdued, Tom kills the last remaining man, and then kills himself with the same gun. Hearing the sound of the gunshot, she understands that Tom is now dead, She cries a lot because Tom was her support in this difficult time. After which she starts preparing to go to the place mentioned on the radio. She explains to the children, "But we have to go there to survive. And listen carefully to one thing. No matter what happens, you two must not remove the blindfold, or you will both be killed." After this, Mallory came to herself and her children and reaches the river with the help of rope, where these people sit in a boat and start moving along the flow of the river. Mallory also keeps those caged birds with her. After a few hours of travel, Mallory contacts the people living in the colony where she is going through the radio. But then the birds in the cage start making noise, and at the same time, a frightening voice starts calling out to Mallory again and again, ignoring everything and continuing to move forward. After going a short distance, that voice starts getting closer to him. Now we see a man come very close to Mallory and tell her to take the blindfold off your eyes. You are here. But Mallory hides the children with a sheet and starts shooting all around with a gun. The man understands that Mallory will not remove the blindfold from his eyes, so the man approaches the boat and attacks Mallory and tries to forcibly remove the blindfold from Mallory. The man, like Gary, tells Mallory that you should take the blindfold out of your eyes and look at that devil. He is very beautiful. But Mallory attacks him with a weapon to save herself and escapes from there by killing him. Traveling in this way, Mallory and the children had passed through the throat, and these people get very tired. Now, Mallory saves her son from drowning in the water, but the food and drink they had is washed away in the river. Mallory gets very upset because if they don't get food to eat, they will die of hunger. So Mallory puts the boat on the bank of the river to find food and asks the children, "No matter what happens, both of you stay on the boat and don't take the blindfold out of your eyes at all." After this, she ties a rope to the boat and reaches a house in the middle of the forest looking for food and drink, and there he had something to eat and drink. But when she is about to return with the luggage, the devil goes after her and starts calling Mallory in a human voice. Mallory runs away from there while firing bullets. Hearing the sound of gunshots, Olympia's daughter gets off the boat by tying herself with a rope, and in the process of finding Mallory, she goes straight to that devil. But that's when Mallory pulls him back and angrily scolds him that I even told you, don't get off the boat. After this, these three continue their journey again. And now Mallory and the kids have been on the journey for hours. Mallory explains to the children that now there is going to be a slope in the river which will make the flow of water very fast, therefore holding the boat firmly. After going a little further, the flow of the river starts to intensify. These people are strong, but this path was very, very dangerous. Then suddenly their boat overturns and all three fall into the water and all three keep flowing in the water. Now Mallory catches her son in the water, but Olympia's daughter on the ground. Hearing the girl's voice, Mallory finds her too. In this way, he had taken the most difficult path of his journey, and now his destination was very close. These people moved forward in the forest, and then they also heard the sound of birds. These people go in the same direction, following the sound of birds. But then the devil also gets there and starts chasing them, and Satan tries to seduce them to remove the veil from their eyes. But Mallory tells the children not to pay attention to the voice and keep moving. While moving forward, Mallory suddenly falls into the pit below and falls unconscious. The children also get worried about where Mallory went. They start looking for Mallory here and there. And taking advantage of the opportunity, the devil asks the children to take off the bandage in Mallory's voice. Without understanding, children start removing the blindfold from their eyes, thinking that the devil is Mallory. But then, at the right time, Mallory comes to her senses and screams loudly to stop the children from taking off the bandage. And following their voice, it comes to the children. Mallory then takes them and starts running away, listening to the sound of the birds. Because in the meantime, the devil was after them, and by trying every possible. But these people ignore the devil and finally reach that place. And Mallory pleads with these people to open the door early. They bring them in, and first of all, their eyes are checked to confirm whether they are infected or not. When they find out that these three are not infected, they bring them inside the colony. Mallory removes her bandage to see that this is a blind school where most people cannot see. and so the devil did nothing to her. Here we meet a guy named Rick. This is actually the same guy who gave the radio Roots and Tom the location of this place. A lot of birds are also bred here so that they keep getting the warning of Cotter. Mallory also frees those caged birds. With that, the story ends. If you liked the video, then subscribe to our channel and like the video. And if you want to watch the second part of this movie, then write part 2 in the comments.